So there's an acronym that I like to use. It's called CENTS. C-E-N-T-S. And the reason why I like to use this acronym is because it kind of gives you a roadmap of the main objective on the very first phone conversation. And so letter C, it starts with curiosity. So every person that contacts you is curious of something. They want to know about something. They want to know if you have this advertised rate. They want to know if you have no fees. They want to know, what you could do for them, right? And so that's ultimately what it starts at. But the reason why they're curious is because they have a specific need underneath that question. And so if they call you and they say, hey, Demi, do you have 2.5 no cost loan, right? The proper response would be, yeah, let me show you how to get that. Even though we know from seeing the rate sheet that that's not available. Does that make sense? The reason being is because these prospects, they don't know how to communicate our language. And so even if they did ask for something that's not available, our goal is not to answer the question of like, hey, can I get them a 2.5? Our goal is to find out, well, why do you need that 2.5, right? And so from curiosity, you go to extracting. And what I mean by extracting is you need to take control of the conversation so that you're actually digging deeper and finding out the root cause or the real results that they're looking for. And so if they need a 2.5, what we could find out is that they actually need, let's say, $300 a monthly savings. The reason why they need $300 a monthly savings is because the credit card bills have increased. And the reason why the credit card bills have increased is because the wife lost her overtime. And the reason why the wife lost her overtime is because they're doing layoffs in her industry. Does that make sense? So there's deeper reasons why. It's not the 2.5, it's not the 3.5 or anything like that. So we have to extract their reasons because then we're gonna find out what they need. And so the need, they're not gonna tell you right off the bat. What the need is gonna sound like when you first interact with them is, hey, I need to get a lower interest rate. I need a no-cost loan, or I need to lower my rate by at least a full %. But it's not that which is their need. Their actual need is what that does for them. So it creates like a ripple effect within their life. It creates like a ripple effect within their current budget. And so how many guys here have rent? You guys pay rent? Okay. And you guys pay a mortgage? Okay. So even though you guys don't have a mortgage, don't let that intimidate you because you're talking about something that you don't even have, right? So at the end of the day, a mortgage is the same as rent. It's just a bill that's due. And if you don't pay it, you get kicked out, right? You get in trouble. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because each and every single one of them have a fixed amount of expenses. And a lot of these consumers or prospects, they don't have the ability to earn extra income like we do. They're not in sales. So their only real opportunity to earn more income is through overtime. Make sense? So they need to create enough income to meet their obligations. So it's rent, the car, the credit cards. And one thing that you're gonna go through a lot is their credit report. And so the credit report only shows what actually reports to the credit bureaus, but it doesn't go deeper than that. It doesn't cover things like daycare or hobbies, right? And these are the things that we really need to extract because that's the reason why they need the monthly savings. And if you could identify what their monthly savings is, then you find out their truth. And truth is the leverage that you need when going into the second call. So the truth is things that are going to influence them to take action. So it's their fears, right? There are 3 primary emotions that make people move, and they actually dictate us as well. And those 3 emotions are love, fear, and survival, also known as self-preservation. And that's just a science, right? So things that we love motivate us. Things that we fear also motivate us. And things that we need to survive also motivates us. And you need to understand what those things are before you go into your second call. And then finally, solve. Whoops. You see, being a loan officer, you might think that you are a salesperson. And a lot of loan officers currently do think that they're salespeople. And that's why they have a difficult time in selling, is because they're trying to sell. But an actual loan officer is simply a problem solver. All you're doing is finding products for your consumers, not finding consumers for your products. Does that make sense? So you're using their curiosity to extract their need, then you'll expose their truth, which then you have a problem to solve. You're serving a solution. And when you serve a solution and you actually have something that helps them, and is applicable to them, meaning it's the difference of saying, hey, I could lower your rate and save you a couple $100 versus, hey, I could bring your payment down to, $1,800, which will create enough cash flow to pay off the credit card debt, put a little bit more money in the bank so you can offset the loss of income that your wife has gone through. This will also help you support your 3 children, which I would imagine there's other expenses that I don't even see on the credit report. That makes sense? It's a huge difference of how you communicate that actual service. And when you learn how to do that, not only do you have more control over the interaction, but you can get their focus away from the cost or the fees of the loan.